So, parenting tip number 41 has to do with your role as an educator, right, in your child's life. And the tip is to focus on the right things. All of us. I've been there as a tutor. I believe that my role was to quiz them on multiplication facts, right? If there was a Bible verse that needed to memorize, I felt that I needed to help them create flashcards and just quiz them. And I was going to be the tutor in my child's life. And believe me, as a parent, if you turn into a tutor, you are going to probably, you know, not really be a benefit to your child. It'll probably result in some arguments or frustration and guaranteed unnecessary stress. So if you're teaching your child, I recommended getting a United States puzzle instead of, being there and just having their kids memorize where the states are, what are the capitals of certain states. And I tutor kids doing the states. They have to memorize the capitals, they have to know the location, and there are fun exercises. And actually, I use a US map quiz game, and I just found out that's what Mililani Middle 8th grade teachers are using to test them. And they actually have to screenshot their tests on this US map quiz that I've been using for way over 10 years. And I thought it was kind of funny, but as a parent, your role is not to quiz them. Your role is not to make sure that they memorize. What your role is to teach them that they are accountable for their own homework and learning lessons. So I give memory tips. I teach them how to study, but I try not to, like hold their hand and really make sure that they are told exactly how to think. So, say for example, your child is learning about the bombing of Pearl Harbor, right? And they need to know the dates. They need to know like all the specific historical information. Make it an opportunity to bond with your child. Maybe talk about, like what happened, what really happened, and Google stories. My dad used to share what happened on December 7th when he was a little boy, right? Because he was only about 6 years old, and he told his story. And so I think when you actually emotionally connect with your child, it is much more interesting, right, to find out what happened during that time. With the states, I have stories on, and you can Google that. Google the facts. When did Delaware become a state? Why is it called the first state on their license plate? What are they known for? Why do people travel to Delaware? So when you get them talking about it, and then they end up coming up with all kinds of questions, and then I Google it. What is a Devil's Tower? Why do people go to Kansas? And then you make it into a conversation rather than a boring, dreaded homework exercise or, oh no, I have to prepare for my test tomorrow. The 8th graders next week at Mililani High School have to, not Mililani High School, Mililani Middle, have to memorize the squares, right? So you have to do like 5 square, 5 to the second power, 25, 17 to the second power, all the way from 1 through 30. So we did make flashcards, but I taught her memory tricks. How do you memorize, 25 times 25 is 625. Can you think of, how many quarters maybe make $6.25? You just come up with some memory clue so that they can visualize how to remember, you know, 8 times 7. You know how this is a little trick that is separate from, teaching how to do things right, or not. I'm sorry, not teaching how to kid. Okay, I am not going to record this video again, so I am going to teach you how to accept imperfection like this parenting tip number 41. Do you remember what the key is? The tip is to focus on the right things. So if your kids make a mistake on, say, I don't know, they have to memorize 10 states just for today. and for some reason they don't get it. They don't get the math formula that they're supposed to memorize. They don't get, the scientific method that they have to memorize for their science class. Don't stress out and don't focus on what's going wrong. Have them take a deep breath, maybe watch a funny YouTube video or a TikTok video, and really go back and explain what is, what is the right thing? Is the right thing to focus on it so they can get an A? I know a lot of parents think that. Or is the lesson to just learn and enjoy the learning process? I have eighth graders really enjoy learning the states and really enjoy learning mathematical formulas, but I make it fun, as fun as I can when you're talking about, say, Pythagorean theorem, right? That's like, what is that? It's actually how to, it's a triangle formula. But my whole thing is, as a parent, don't make them feel that the goal is to memorize the formulas. The goal is to memorize the states or the periodic table. That's not the goal. The goal is to learn and remember. And if you can, enjoy the learning process. And that's parenting tip number 41. Your brain is a miracle. It is a miracle worker. You are able to access your memory, even though a lot of people say, I have a bad memory. When kids tell me that, I tell them, you are, giving your brain messages. And if you tell your brain, you know what, I don't trust you, you don't work for me, you are just horrible at memorizing things, your brain's going to listen. So I have a second grader, and he goes, that's right, I have to remind my brain that it's really smart and that it can do a lot of things. Even though I might not believe it, don't I have to give instructions to my brain so that my brain will, be like Superman, right? Your brain has these magical powers, but we need to de-stress and really take care of our brain, right? And just trust it. So, parenting tip number 41, focus on, the right things, which is not the grades, which is not the actual material. And I learned this the hard way. I once spent 5 consecutive hours making sure that Chelsea caught up on all these assignments that she fell behind in geometry. And not only did it stress both of us out, she didn't learn anything, and I was in this, tutor mode where you are going to learn perseverance and discipline and the importance of academic knowledge. And only later did I realize, when she did graduate with honors, did it matter? No. As she's approaching college, I'm telling all the freshmen students, I tutored them in the past, don't stress out. I mean, the pandemic, wearing masks, doing this, looking at the COVID numbers rising, that does not do, positive, it doesn't have positive effects on our mental outlook. So focus on the right things. And number one, don't stress out and just try to enjoy the learning process. Believe it or not, it can be fun. If you don't know how to make it fun, you can message me. Email me at KG Brain Builders. I do virtual tutoring worldwide. As long as you have internet access, I do homework checkups. I have 30-minute homework checkups if you're not interested in the hourly tutoring services. I think homework checkups are great. And just to have, I might not be able to do it in person, but having someone be your, I can call myself like a homework coach. A lot of times kids say, I told my friend that I can be a tutor because I have a tutor and I taught this first grader the multiples of 2, and his just eyes lit up. And I thought, you know what? He is learning how to make learning fun. And that's parenting tip number 41. Thanks for watching and being patient with my mistakes. Bye.